This training video is brought to you by K-Alliance. K-Alliance provides high-quality instructor-led training videos for desktop, IT, and soft skills. Visit us online at www.kalliance.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something new. Real videos, real learning, real success.
Let's talk a little bit about the new start screen and how you can maneuver and manipulate and not be lost, because there are a few things that at first I was a little bit confused about, to tell you the truth. So I want to start with the thing that confused me the most, right? Well, this didn't confuse me. It was obvious that if I pointed to something and I clicked, it would activate. So here I am, my mouse on the Internet Explorer. I'm just going to go ahead and click, and it opens up Internet Explorer for me to do my thing. But then I was done doing my thing and I wanted out, and I couldn't figure out how to get out. So let's go back to a really simple technique. On your keyboard, you always have the window button. If you click the window button, voila, you're back on your start screen. But where'd Internet Explorer go? Well, it's still there and it's still running in the background, and Microsoft says you don't have to worry about that because after a while it'll just shut itself down. Yeah, but what if you want to shut it down? You don't want that to be running in the background. Well, let's look at another one. Let's go open Maps. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Maps, and now Maps is doing its thing and it's opening up, and oh, this one's asking me if I want to turn on a location. I'm going to go ahead and tell that to block for now, only because I don't want it to then be asking me more questions. So I've done my thing with my map. Well, you already know you could hit your window key and you'd be back to your start screen, but I want it to go away. I don't need it any longer. Take your mouse to the top of the screen, or if you're using a touch screen, you click with your finger, you tap with your finger, you drag, you just click with your mouse, or if it's your finger, you touch and hold. You see my mouse change to a hand, drag down a little bit, and the application then will be smaller on the window, and keep dragging until it goes to the bottom of the screen, let go, and you've shut it down. So now the Maps is no longer running. It's closed. However, Internet Explorer still is, remember, because I left it open and hit the window. So you go to the top left-hand corner of the start screen, and in the top left-hand corner, just rest your mouse there, and what you're going to see is what was previously opened, and there's my Internet Explorer. So there's, whoops, I missed there. There's the little tile. I just click on the little tile. I'm back to Internet Explorer. So what if I'm done with this one? You remember, go to the top, get the hand, click, hold, drag to the bottom. Or if you're using a touch screen, you just use your finger to drag it down. Let's talk a little bit more about these tiles. You'll notice some of the tiles have pictures, physical, like photos on them, and others have little icons on them. And over here to the right, where the panda bears, whoop, they just left. It did say panda bears a moment ago. What happens is these are live tiles, and they actually will move and switch. You can see down here my Fox Sport is switching and my Dow is switching. And these are live so that you can actually see things currently, what's happening on your internet or whatever you're connected to here. So again, when you want to see something, you think, oh, let's check out those pandas, right? Oh, too late, I missed the pandas. But really where it's taking me is Bing. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner there, it tells me what application it would actually be taking me to. So even though I might not get to the pandas, it's not necessarily the pandas that I'm getting to with this tile, it's actually going to Bing. So when you see the tiles moving and switching, it's to draw your attention and to let you know what's going on. Now the stock report down here, the Dow, the finance, these are going to switch, and again you can click, take yourself to these tiles and get into more activities with those. But what I want to talk about isn't necessarily getting into them. You would left click to get in or tap with your finger. What happens when you right mouse click? So if you take a right mouse click, what happens? Now I'm on the S&P 500, top right hand corner here, there's a little purple corner. For me it's purple because that, whoops, my finance got on top of it. There it goes. Finance is off now. But in the top right hand corner, mine is purple because that's my settings. Yours may not be purple. Yours may be a different color. But the little check mark is what I want you to take notice of. And now at the bottom, I have a new menu bar that pops up, and it says, well, what would you like to do? You can turn the live tile off. You can make it smaller. You can uninstall it, or you can unpin it from start. Well, at any time you want to make those changes, then you just go ahead and make the changes. I'll go ahead and make it smaller, and now you can see that it's smaller. Now there's a little hole in there that I could put something else in. But instead, let's right click where it says NASDAQ and go back and say bottom here, let's make it larger. Now don't forget right clicking, because a lot of times inside of Windows 8 you'll find what you're looking for by right clicking. What happens if you right click the start screen here in the space? What happens, I'm just in the, for me it's blue on my screen, but it's whatever color your screen is, and it pops up down at the bottom, it pops up where it says all apps. So bottom right hand corner, I'm going to go click and see all apps. And what this will take you into is all the apps that are available on your screen. Well, I want to use this window to talk a little bit more about how to use this new interface, because as you can see, there's things over there to the right. So anytime you're on a touch screen, you just take your hand and you touch the screen and you swipe toward the left so that you can take yourself over to the right side. But with a mouse, you wheel. I'm just using the wheel on my mouse, right? Just using the wheel, and it moves me left and it moves me right. Or at the bottom, there's a scroll bar, and you can click and you can drag that scroll bar. Totally 100% up to you. Now I don't really want to work with these apps, I just wanted to show you the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my window button on my keyboard to take me back to the start screen. So here, let's try it. I'm going to use my wheel. Yep, there's everything on the right side. Now I'm back to the left side by just using my wheel. Or in the very bottom right hand corner of your screen, there's a little tiny minus sign. It's just below my mouse. And when I rest my mouse on that little minus sign, the charms pop up on the right. I just ignore those, they go away in a second. But when I click the little minus sign, everything is smaller. Now there's a purpose for this, and that is that you could have a really full start screen and you'd have a lot of things you want to get to, and you can also do some customization. Although right now we're not going to customize, we're happy with what we have here. So if you hit, oops, excuse me, I have it here, I hit the escape key on my keyboard. Escape key takes you out of a lot of things, but let me get back. Let me tell you how I'm going to get back to where I just came from. I'm hitting my window, because remember, my window takes me back to my desktop, or my start screen, excuse me, from my desktop to my start screen, and I'm hitting the little minus sign, right? So then I was wheeled down, and all I have to do is click on the screen in order to bring that size back up. My apologies there. That was an old habit. Y'all will have those too, those old habits that don't always leave you, right? Okay, so what about that desktop I was just on? I want to get back to that, because there's a few things we want to look at. Bottom left-hand corner here on my tiles is my desktop tile, or on your keyboard, you hold down the window button and hit D for desktop. So let's go over to the desktop for just a moment. Now when we get over to the desktop, what's going to happen over here is you're going to have whatever your desktop looks like, right? Mine's customized with a little logo here in the background, and my taskbar is hiding. All I have to do to get my taskbar to show is to bring my mouse to the bottom of the screen. Voila, there's my taskbar. So what you're going to notice right away, start button's gone. Right? They didn't put a start button in this version for a lot of reasons, but mostly because the start screen is much more user-friendly, and the start screen gives you a lot more choices than your start button once did. So when you need that old start button, for a lot of you, just hit your windows, you'll be on your start screen, and everything you need will be right there in front of you. Now remember how to get back? Windows D for desktop, or you click your tile here for desktop. Well, what if I don't remember the keyboard shortcut? Remember the bottom left-hand corner, bring your mouse down to the bottom left-hand corner, and there's your start screen right there. I'm just making it flash so you can see it. Bottom left-hand corner, there it is. Just click on it, and it takes you right back to your start screen. All right, let's go to the desktop one more time. And in the desktop, back to the bottom left-hand corner, but this time I'm going to switch to a right mouse click. And when I switch to a right mouse click, oh, you know what? What I got on there is I got a little, I got the wrong menu because I was in the wrong spot. So let me hit escape. Now this time escape did what I wanted it to, right? It dismissed the little menu I was looking for. I wasn't far enough down. I needed to make sure that the start screen was showing and then switch to a right click. There's the menu I was looking for. This, a lot of people refer to this as the power options, right? This gives you a lot of opportunity to get into your computer and get into some of the locations inside of your computer that you need because you're a power user, right? And you want the power user options. But when you don't really want this, you just hit escape on your keyboard, or if you did want one of these features, you simply would click on it. For instance, you want the control panel, you click and it opens up the control panel. And for those of you who are familiar with previous versions of Windows, it looks pretty comfortable for you. All right, so to close it, this in the desktop has our regular X in the top right-hand corner. So you can just hit that X button and you're out of that control panel. All right, so let's just review. If you hit your Windows key on your keyboard, your Windows key is going to take you to your start screen. If you do Windows D for desktop, it's going to take you to the desktop. If you're on the desktop and you go to the bottom left-hand corner, your start screen will pop up. Just click on it. You're back to your start screen. And don't forget, on your start screen, your tiles are live. They'll actually be switching and moving, and pictures will be showing up. And they're very interactive in that you just click and they open, and then they'll take you where you want to go. Let me just open one real fast just to remind you. Once it's opened, remember, you can just hit your window button to leave the they're called applications or apps, right? You just can leave the app running, and later when Windows decides you don't need it anymore, it'll shut it down. Or you can take your mouse to the top, you can get the little hand going, and with a mouse click and hold with a touch screen, you just drag and you just don't let go until it drags off to the bottom. And now you're right back at the start screen where we started, and now you have a lot of tricks to get around and feel very, very comfortable on this brand new Windows 8 start screen.
We hope you enjoyed this preview video. Please click on the like button below if you did, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to visit us at www.kalliance.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial today. You could learn a lot in a week.